But you would like to think so? Joe?
Thank you. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback and clarify what Tim was saying. If I'm wrong on this one, Charlie, but to move from C2 to C1 in one evaluation?
No.
Or coaching reports on, to move from the local referee to the territorial grade, you do need an evaluation. Sure, there's only, you know, me and Mike doing this here right now, but if you're ready, we can come on paper on it. To say again what Tim just said, you don't really need that heavy duty, 18 pages of can't read through it garbage. But if you want it, we can do it for you. What we also need is what we also need is more coaches that are willing to write paper, even the short reports. I can teach you how.
Got it?
Gilly. No, Gilly.
Sorry. First.
One, they don't want us using anything but coaching reports below C1, attempting to move to territorial now. That's in the RNL committee meeting this year too. We have plenty of coaches. It's getting them out there, getting them assigned. I think we have 7 or 8, possibly more, who are trained up. So, thanks for listening.
I didn't realize I'd be RNL based on different evaluations. I was just going to get one under your belt, going C2 to C1. That way you don't just get blindsided by the very different approach that PRs and coaches. Sure. Just a thought.
Yeah. And to answer your question, yeah, you need a formal evaluation once a year. In addition, you have to pass the beat test.
Yes.
Just to remain as a territory.
Any other questions on development? Thank you.
Okay.
Standards, just between what's the standard for beat.
To get to the B panel is 11, to stay on the B panel is 10. To get national appointments for a C1, it's 10, and B panel is 11.
Mark, when did that change to 11?
To get on,
The last thing I saw from every said 10, period.
to maintain,
We will spread out that information out once we
to get on,
finalize what's been done.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
just get 12, make it easy.
15 more.
Now,
So here's the treasurer's report. Lots of income, mostly from referee services. The Rugby Colorado is actually wrong, it's twice that. And then expenses. Most of it was stipends for the gas. Not a real breakdown of like how much we spent on gas, I just kind of pulled it, whereas if you claim gas and a stipend, it kind of went into there. So, sorry guys.
Bank service charges, I'm not understanding what those are all
That's
about.
50 cents a deposit or $9.95 to get it to talk to your software.
That cost us $2,000,
What is that?
the top line of expenses.
Well, the savings payback is what was it?
I'm not putting out that as either.
Well, when we have savings, we get off the low, I think we take money from savings and pay it back. So over there, it's a savings withdrawal.
So $170 in fees then.
Yeah.
I get it.
So.
Mark, is this done on a cash basis or accrual basis?
Cash or what? It's all Bitcoin.
well played, Mark.
There's the months we got a lot of money in and the months we paid a lot of money out.
Do you have outstanding?
Yes.
Approximately how much is outstanding?
I would say, well, that's figured into there, that's part of our profit, is accounts receivable. I would say probably $6,000.
Say again, Mark. I feel like it was mixing.
$6,000, I think.
It's about
So $8,000 net, 6,000 of that, three
No,
quarters.
our accounts receivable, or our net includes our accounts receivable.
Yeah, of the $8,000 net, three quarters of that is not yet realized.
Yeah.
On a cash basis, we make 2,000, on an accrual basis, we make 8,000.
correct.
Thanks, Mark.
So most of our referee services and then tournament fees, that's our income, our expenses.
How much have we written off?
Oh, we've written off only the Tigers $300. And I just sent an invoice or an email to Breckenridge, I'm like, just pay the damn invoice. They said they would.
So you said they would?
I expected all that six. Or they don't expect to ever get referees.
What's the breakdown of that, is it?
Vale is $600-700. Glendale's have to pay us. I just invoiced like 3 weeks ago because the season was finally over. So some people have been right on it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the mountain teams.
This is not long-term debt.
Well, the long-term debt is $200 from Breckenridge from the massacre. We have not provided them referees all season. And $600 from Vale, $700 from Glenwood, and then the rest is just stuff from this fall. So, I mean, we're pretty good. I'm pretty good at collecting on it. Ideally, going forward with the website, I'd like to be able to not do this, not to build in the rivers. But that's part of all the surveying, I guess.
Mark, with the government shutdown, is the
Air Force, I
service
think, is paid.
paid up?
I don't think the men have. I don't know, there's a crap load of people, I don't know.
Fair enough, I'm just asking since,
The women have, they ask for it invoices in advance, and then the men, I don't think have, I think that's about $1,000.
What, Gary, even with the Republican administration, Air Force was just slow pay.
it's not the administration, it's system. It takes me 4 months to get expenses for a trip.
They were slow pay, I just kind of threw that in.
And that's with electronic.
Government work.
Hey, Mark Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Got to.
Go ahead, please, one voice, please, one
Nice.
conversation.
Anything stand out, like, I could really, anything stand out to you from expenses that's like, man, we were way overpaying for this, or income where it's like, man, we really aren't getting enough for this?
We need to figure out what to do about tournaments. How to compensate refs, how to charge clubs, how to figure out what to pay. All of our tournaments are different. The sevens is different from going to Cal-Fi. Cal-Fi gives us a nice place. They, sevens, they give us a case of water. There's not a formula. Basically, how I determine how I'm gonna build the tournaments, I just emailed at executive, what should we do here? And it's different every time. Man, there needs to be a standard. New York does 20% of what they take in. I don't know. I mean, we need to figure that out tonight. So, Craig?
I mean, the numbers look pretty healthy.
Yeah, I think we took a huge kit order last year to get everyone kit to our rugby. That was like a $16,000 expense last year.
Yeah.
And now,
We're probably not gonna have.
since,
So a lot less.
yeah, so now, well, again, we're gonna address the kit issue again tonight, but going forward, we have a plan in place, you just get your own kit, and you get compensated X amount. Everyone know the kit plan?
Yeah.
I mean, if we add a proper store, everyone's aware of it?
Yeah.
Anyone not aware of it?
No, you,
So every season, you get $50 worth of kit. You go buy it, you send me the email, and
you credit 50
and I'll send you $50 on your pay, whatever it is. New referees, their first game gets 65. Their third game they get 50. Their fifth game gets another 50. And then they'll get them a proper amount of kit, and then the next season they can use 50. So you can basically just, this year I'll get a track jacket, or I want to buy a shoe bag. Ryan and I are working with either our same vendor or new vendors, we'll get it all sorted out, hopefully by the start of the spring. We can get it sorted out, and again, we'll have to adjust that with potential name change.
Can we get this put on the webpage so that those that
It's,
find out more information about it? they can-
well, I think it's in the Google Doc,
Okay.
which is where kind of everything is going, or really the important stuff for refereeing is, like recruitment. I can definitely add it to the Google Doc. I don't, putting stuff on our webpage, who knows how to do that? And maybe we'll address that when we get a new website, so, yes.
Website is on the agendas.
I did send it out, so if you go to the Google groups, it's in our history somewhere.
Okay.
Isn't it on the availability? It's just a
Is
different
it?
tab, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a 10.
And so,
And then that accumulates season to season?
you don't, if you get to use it the fall, you don't get $500 if you don't buy a kit after 10 years. You use it or lose it.
So it's a use it or lose it deal?
That wasn't clear, because if you're
Yeah.
saving up for something like a tracksuit, which costs more than 50.
Yeah.
With the industry.
Buy pants today and jacket next week. Next
Yeah, but
week.
the jersey, like the jersey is 65. You know, like there's nothing really, the only thing that's under 50 is the shorts.
Should just be
Fair,
every
so,
calendar
Mark, that's
year.
not a fair way of doing it. You usually give them a time period, and it's got to be 2 or 3 years.
One conversation, please.
We'll come up with a way to track that, and I'll be happy to. It's, I mean, just,
The same way you track it at the moment.
okay. I'll work on it, something, let the new, I mean, we're gonna get new kit pricing anyway, maybe, so we'll see what happens. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, and then, that's all. Anything
Any questions for Mark? Okay. Tom, RDO. Okay. Rick and Paul as recruiting officers, any reports?
So the report is that Rick, Goldman and I recently sort of became appointed as the recruiting officers. So our goal is just to sort of collect information and names and have us make sure we make contact with everyone who is interested in recruiting, see what their interests are, make sure they know how to get to their availability page, they know what the package is, just to give them a friendly face, that kind of thing. We haven't had any official meetings, and we just sort of have been, I guess, in operation for maybe 2 months, 3 months now, or so. So we hope to continue to build on this and actually get some people recruited into something a little bit more. So we started the last referee course and just made contact with everyone in that course, and then Mark, when he was having his knee recuperation, I think he talked to everyone before we could do the call, so that was nice of Mark to do that for us. But that's our first step is there. And then, as I'm also the tribe president, my goal there is to then work on some of the younger kids and other adults and get them involved from that end of it too. People who may get a bug about refereeing the assignments what they want to do.
Well, when we had, like, I was talking about refereeing with UNC, and, you know, that girl, the women's, head of the women's team, and she was like, oh yeah, I'd like to know. So at that point, I mean, I emailed Mark, and then I said, who should we do? And then I know it got to you, is there a, like, who do we email to right away? I mean, is that what we do? Just that?
Can't read it.
But it's in the Google Docs.
Come closer.
But
It's a spreadsheet on Google Docs, guys.
So we talk to somebody, we keep track of what's going on, so someone else can go.
Stu Geiger, fill out his availability, blah, 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 he's an active rep.
Okay.
You know, I mean, Derek just talked to someone on last weekend, lives in Fort Collins, grad student, CSU,
Okay.
rep a few games in Virginia, would be interested in joining IRRFU. Derek Summers met him on a flight, and here's his contact information.
So you want us to go to
Yes.
that doc and put it
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
So the other thing I'll say about this is I've been contacted by a couple of people who said, hey, we'd love to have you come to a referee course in Colorado Springs, can you do that? And our answer is, well, I'm sure we can, but let's see how we have really interested in we contact the society and get that going. So again, as being also involved in Tri and other high school stuff, people come to me and say these things, but this is an offline conversation for those who do the courses, and we can look that out later. So
Talk to you.
we'll bring that up. So.
It's my intention for on the new website get that, and we're gonna talk about that, is basically have a lot of this stuff there, right? Recruiting, treasurer's report, how to get kit, links to the store, match assignments. So that's my vision.
Yeah, that would all help with the thing we're trying to do now, any sort of just, do it, so that's all I have.
Right. Any questions?
So this link is on, every time you get an email from the group, you have this link on the bottom of the email. So we can add stuff to it, just let us know, like, make sure your contact list is up to date. Here's where you go to do some match reports, the YouTube page, this is a public document, anyone can go and add stuff to it. So, help out with it,
And it automatically saves too.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, all right, into the the meat of the meeting. As you know, Eastern Rockies basically no longer exist, the union. They have formed the GU, and the GU is called the Rocky Mountain Rugby Geographic Union. So, do we want to change our name to Rocky Mountain Referee Society?
What are the ramifications of our referee society integrating, if you will, can't think of a better term right now, but integrating with our friends out in Utah? I mean, will there be a central governing body over the two halves?
Probably would need to be, but those kind of details have not been even thought of yet.
You're talking about just as referees?
Yeah, just referees.
What do they have for referees right now?
I'll find out this weekend.
Sam Madsen is basically have organized them, and he claims that they have their referee society up and running.
I'll be able to find that out this weekend.
And Sam runs it. So, and he's been in contact with me to where he wants to get together with us to kind of hammer out these details.
So, in lieu of part two, or B right here, agreement between the clubs and the referee society, I don't think it actually matters what Utah is doing. It's whoever has a contract with this society are the people we're gonna do business with. So I'd say let's keep it on topic, do change the name, and then carry on into B.
I think that has a lot to do with the name change. If we're going to remain, if Eastern Rockies chunk of land as we now know it is going to be assigning referees to games in this chunk of land as we now know it, as opposed to having a central body assigning referees from Utah to here, from here to Utah, I think that makes a huge difference as to what we call ourselves.
Well, again, my vision of that is that we would have a Eastern assigner and a Western assigner. Western assigner being Utah, the Eastern assigner being,
I would just say the simplest name would be the best.
sorry?
The simplest name is always the
Let's
best.
stay in line with the union and the GU.
This is Rocky Mountain Rugby.
Rocky Mountain
Referee Society.
Referee Society.
But what would we do, Charlie, in a situation like tonight,
Society
the AGM?
You're all.
Would you alternate years? Unless you did the AGM completely webcast. These are the kind of details that need to be hammered out.
If we go strictly to Rocky Mountain Rugby, then we are assuming, without their permission, that they're gonna be part of our society.
Well, they are part of the Rocky Mountain GU,
Oh, I understand.
period.
They could be the Utah Referee Society.
No, I don't think you.
You don't want the tail to wag the dog. We should be, if they want to join us, that's kind of they could still fit under the umbrella of Rocky Mountain Rugby. They're gonna be a small part compared to our size, right?
Yeah, but you can't impose on them.
Art, the name change doesn't impose anything upon Utah.
No.
Right,
They can participate in
that's what I'm saying, they can
It
choose
implies
to or
it.
not.
It implies it, that, yes,
Yeah,
it
that's
does.
the implication there.
Absolutely it does.
Tim has a question, so next
Yeah,
comment.
yep, Tim.
That's their choice, right?
I don't foresee, certainly not in the short term, that the Utah and Eastern Rockies, I'll keep it with those names, are really gonna join together. Eventually, the Division I that did get played in Utah was designed by Utah. And I really feel that for training, for a meeting, for an organizational structure, at least in the short term, we're much better off staying as Eastern Rockies, whatever we want to be called, it doesn't matter, but we're looking at ourselves locally, providing services to whoever in this region requires us to referee rugby games. Whereas if we say, hey, we're gonna join with Utah, well, Utah's got more than just the Utah referees, because they're high school, whatever it's called, Rugby Utah, I mean, they're totally separate again. You know what I mean, there's multiple entities. So right now, we're just a body that will provide referees for anybody who wants to contract services. So right now, if BYU come to us, as they have done last year, and said, we want Eastern Rockies referees to provide services to our games in Provo. We're like, sure, cost is $625 per game. So it's gonna cost to fly, hotel, and we'll supply a referee team. That's essentially our role. Our role is not to say we're going to take over just the geographical union. We're just a service organization to provide a service for whoever wants us to referee rugby games.
You're right.
So I don't think it matters what we get called. I don't know why we just don't leave it at Eastern Rockies rugby referees. That's what we are.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we retain the name Eastern Rockies Rugby Referee Society.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we retain our name. Any further discussion?
Is a
Yeah,
cost
I think
associated with
reality,
changing your
Chuck,
name?
awesome. So,
Sorry,
Is a cost associated with changing your name?
You have to re-register with a tax ID and then.
It's all new swag.
Okay. All right, Mike?
I think ultimately, if the GE is changing its name, and the expectation is that there's one referee society, ultimately for the GE, then we ought to be planning that way. I don't think we can just stay as Eastern Rockies in isolation. In a couple of years' time, we're gonna have to somehow
Couple of years we can
work
revisit.
together with,
Okay.
and what we need to do. Yeah, but what we need to do is to be proactive. Somebody in the executive needs to be responsible for thinking through some of those details.
Okay. All right, we'll take a couple more comments, then we'll vote.
Competitive region, whatever the Midwest became, they're apparently retaining all their individual referee societies in the individual states.
Okay,
So I don't think there's any reason we can't right now.
all right. Dan?
I would say point of order, it's been moved and seconded, we need to vote.
No,
it's,
once you move it and second it, you vote.
No, you have further discussion by Robert's Rules of Order. Ray?
Can I amend the motion to charge the executive committee to look into, plan a year ahead, see what's going on with the,
Accepted.
with the Utah? And if this is gonna, if something's gonna happen, it should be with a year's worth of planning, not just, hey, let's do it.
All right, okay.
Charlie, I move we call the question.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I have a second? Okay. All those in favor of the question, signify by saying aye. Okay, all right.
What are we?
That was just saying we want to vote. Now,
Okay.
the vote is that
This
we
is voting
remain,
to vote.
is that we remain the Eastern Rockies Referee Society with a friendly amendment of tasking the executive committee to research the.
And present a plan at the next meeting.
Yeah, okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, we will remain. All right. Did everybody see the proposal that I sent out? Everybody have a copy of it? I have some copies here. Anybody? Yeah, I only have about 10, so a couple per table,
We'll share it.
We'll share here.
okay?
Charlie, can you say any significant differences between what we have been doing and what we will be doing?
There's a couple significant
Can you
differences.
highlight those differences?
Yeah,
I'll pass the rest, Chuck. Look.
yeah. So, a couple more here. Yeah, we can share, to save the government. Couple more, anybody wants to see it? One more, anybody? Yeah. Okay, so, great. We've written it up here on the PowerPoint, so if you, right. So it's basically broken, this document is broken down in three basic sections. The responsibility of the union, of which we will have to get the union to buy into. And then the club responsibilities, and then our responsibilities, okay? So union responsibility basically maintain the SIP registration and make sure that everybody is SIP registered. So that's basically sort of the same, but we as a referee society will not referee any games for people who are not SIP, okay?
And tournaments that are.
Yeah, and that's, so we'll have to talk about that in there. Maintain a disciplinary committee, have a contact for all the clubs and referees to buy into. Code of conduct. I think this is very, very big, right? We've always said that we need a code of conduct. USA Rugby says we need a code of conduct and all that good stuff, but it's not adhered to and not enforced. So we want the union to create a code of conduct and adhere to it, right? And make sure that the clubs are compliant with all these. Tournaments, we need to talk about tournaments and how we fashion tournaments and how clubs come about to the referee society for getting referees for tournaments. Medical policy, I think this is pretty big. The IRB and USA Rugby is coming out with a concussion policy, and so that needs to be maintained and distributed to the clubs. I don't think a lot of this information gets distributed to the clubs. Match fee and tournament fees. Once we as a society has set the fees, then that needs to be distributed to the clubs, and the clubs need to be very aware of it and need to adhere to it. Okay? So club responsibilities is, again, this is my vision, all right, is that we as a referee society will form our own website. And for clubs to get referees, they must register with the website. So this willy-nilly about putting games on the master schedule at the very last minute has got to stop. It's a nightmare for Tim or whoever does the assignments. It's a nightmare. Things are changing at the very last minute. 24 hours, they're saying, oh, we got a game tomorrow. How come we don't have a referee? That stuff has got to stop.
Can I just add to that, Charlie?
Yeah.
The premise of having our own website, so whether they're an Eastern Rockies team or a Rugby Colorado team or whether the Sorevi Sevens has got nothing to do with anybody, they must apply their game schedule with a credit card or something to our website so it generates our own schedule. Because right now, as you can see, when you're trying to get a game, find out where you're refereeing, you got to look at 3 different websites. And hope that maybe it was on a fourth email about some of the, it's just a disaster.
Right.
So
I want
we
to
have
cut
to
that
start
out
controlling that.
so we have one spot for you to come as a referee to find out where your assignments are. No Rugby Colorado, no Eastern Rockies website, but Eastern Rockies Referee Society website. Dan?
Do we actually have a facility that they can use to register and sign up and do all those things?
The answer is we will. It's totally doable. It takes some time. Part of that's figuring out what everybody wants,
Right.
which is what we're doing here. It's more than possible.
Sure, no, I understand that, but I'm looking more at issues of identity management and clubs being able to transfer user IDs and things like that, because once you get the club signed up, they're sure to manage to fuck it up.
Yeah, so there's ways that you can transfer ownership from person to person
Just a
over time, but
logistical
yeah,
question, as long as we're thinking about
we'll cover that.
We'll cover that on the website, okay? John?
One more thing for the organizations, and I think it ties in with what they were talking about, but each club is responsible for maintaining an up-to-the-minute
Yes,
contact.
yes. And that's on, I think, on the next page, right? So requesting referees. That request, like Tim was saying, comes with a credit card. You come and you register your club, you put your match schedule on there, and we want referees for these matches. In the story.
So you're collecting the fees up front.
And collecting fees up front, exactly. Joe?
So what happens with the snow out?
Well, there's gotta be a refund policy and all that good stuff written into it and all that good stuff.
I forgot.
All right. Notifying referees prior to match, notifying referees of match changes and cancellation. This has been a nightmare in the past. Match play guidelines, goalpost pads, matching jerseys, all that, ropes, no long johns past and men cannot wear tights,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, so all that stuff's gotta be in there and adhered to. Player dress, etc., billing and payments, okay? Yeah.
This may be a logistical thing, but currently doesn't IRFU have representatives that set the schedule, like a college rep sets the schedule, men's rep sets the schedule? Is that another step?
They can do that, but the clubs will be responsible to put it in on.
Clubs are responsible for posting.
And posting and asking for reference.
I honestly don't care whether a men's rep posts a game or whether a club rep posts it, but they better put a credit card with it and they're gonna get billed. So therefore, if it's screwed up, or if it's last minute, they'll get an extra fine. If it's screwed up, it can get changed. Okay, who puts it on, but you put it on with a credit card, trust me, they'll be a lot more careful about what they go on.
$25 change fee.
Change it, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So the billing and payment section talks about invoice sent every June and December to the teams for doing credit card payments before.
That would be if there's any blatant things that don't get paid.
No, it sounds as if we could still bill in arrears, just like Monday after the game is when we send a card through for games that we play. Yeah, we have the card on file. We don't have to bill them for the whole season in advance.
It sounds like we can hold it until maybe the match report filed.
Yeah.
And then if it's no match report filed, they get a credit card.
credit card information, they open a whole world of suck. Trust me, there are federal regulations around it.
Do we,
Yeah.
okay, just a thought.
All right, so what the societies would be responsible for? Maintaining the website, providing good contacts with the clubs, training, coaching the referees, assigning referees, providing qualified referees, provide a forum for club feedback to referees, on referees. All right, huge. Provide reports to the disciplinary committee. Huge. Red and yellow cards. I know there are some red and yellow cards that still don't get reported.
And that should be also by the clubs besides the referee.
Exactly. Communicate changes in law and application of law. Communicate with the RO contact. Right? That's basically the highlight of the document. Comments, questions? Dan?
So the real changes are them enforcing the code of conduct, bringing in a medical policy, and having an online portal for them to do change requests where we ding them for that change fee up front.
And the biggest one to me is having our own website.
Yeah. Okay.
right? Like I said, this business of changing matches at the last minute within 24 hours or a week or something, has just gotta stop.
I think it's driven four match secretaries out of position.
Exactly.
But they forgot, Charlie, it was an accident.
Yeah, right.
It's not the 24 hours that's the problem, it's the Saturday morning call while you're driving to your own game that they want solved.
Yeah.
That's
Or
the terror.
the club's contacting you directly, say, we need a referee.
Right, sucks to be you.
Yeah, exactly. So this kind of system will stop that kind of stuff, and hopefully we can become better organized.
I move that we approve it. Yeah.
With minor changes like the name.
Yep, okay, yep, I can do that, because I wrote it as if we would change.
But Charlie, does it apply to what area does it apply? Because as it's written, it's applying to the whole Rocky Mountain GU.
Well, I'll change that to be just us.
Charlie?
Yes.
I move that we
What,
adopt
no,
it as.
wait a minute, there's a motion on the floor already.
Yeah,
Charlie
it's the
calls on
motion
you.
on the floor.
Move that we approve as amended.
As amended,
With the amendments to apply to what was previously the Eastern Rock.
all right, are you accepting that friendly amendment?
Sure.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
John? Okay, all right, now we'll open it up to discussion. Robert?
This is technical and perhaps not germane to the vote, but a glossary of terms or definitions for a document like this might be useful as well.
Okay. You comment? Other comments?
At
David?
some point in time, somebody would want to discuss the cost of constructing the website and then the operating cost of maintaining the website.
That's on the agenda.
Okay, wouldn't you want to talk about that before you throw it on? Okay.
Not really? All right, Joe?
There's a paragraph in there about term and costs, so we need to know, before we vote on this, we need to know that those will be filled in by the incoming exec committee.
Yep. Will be done. And we're gonna talk about that, that's under agenda item. Any other discussions? Comments, questions?
So,
All right.
so are we expecting that every club is going to sign this and return it to us?
We are going to, if they want referees, they're gonna sign.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of,
You just make it part of their requirement that they're accepting these terms when they.
I have talked to Rich Cortez, who is the current GU president, and he has put his stamp of approval on it, so he would push it. Yeah, right.
So we don't need, so this says to be implemented in spring of 2014, the website would probably not be ready in time. So,
Well, wishful thinking.
Well, again, you see that is in italics, so.
right, so would it make more sense to make it be implemented in fall and
with
give us?
the new cycle, the new competitive cycle.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Is that-
Kurt?
I guess one of my challenges with the document is it's very much a, here's what you must do to gain our services, and it could probably be done in a way that's, here's the value we're going to bring, here's what we're asking you to do to get that value. I think that it's lacking that half of it, which would be, we are, in addition to that, going to provide services to you and are available for additional services like insert here. I think it's a very one-way, contract instead of sort of a memo of understanding with people that we do services.
It's a dictate.
And I'd probably rather see a memo of understanding with people we're gonna be working with instead of a dictation of contract that you will or don't get kind of relationship. So overall, the tone is pretty rough for the way that we operate with the teams, and it doesn't bring any of our values through in it.
Okay, and I would agree with you, but in the fact that this has not worked in the past, right? So,
The document hasn't worked in the past?
no, the way that we've been operating has not worked in the past.
I guess
And the clubs do not.
There's an additional page that would say, in doing all of this, we are available to come to your practices on off nights and to do log, exams with you, or to provide additional services. We are here to be a partner in the game, not just you evil rugby teams, we're going to wreck your games, or else, it feels pretty harsh.
Okay.
Charlie, can I make a motion? Do we have a motion on the floor currently?
We do have a motion on, and it's been seconded, so. All right. All right. Yes. Steve.
I was just gonna follow up on Kurt Ben. It's all, I think the,
Hey,
guys,
Dave.
I think the key point is not the language or the narrative, the way we explain it or present it to the clubs. But the key point is that we need to drive it and not be driven by that. So I think it's a matter of us being very diplomatic and helpful and supportive, but we need to say, for obvious reasons, for us to do our best job, it needs to all come through us and not, you guys aren't driving it, but in a nice way.
Point of order, will Gilligan accept a friendly amendment to his motion? And the amendment would be that Mr. Weaver write that last page he's asking for? Value proposition? The value proposition?
Yeah.
While we're making amendments, can I send a email, or, I'm sorry, you had a motion?
I